Thank you, Mr. Benoit. Next.
Yes, sir. My name is Lance Beal. Mr. Chairman, thank you. Members of the committee, thank you for letting me speak. I enlisted in the Air Force July 2001. 2 months later, 9/11 happened. So I go for education, ready to start a career, and my life changed. This is before combat started, so I had a different mission, and my mission changed as I got older. I was commissioned in the Army in 2005, and at that time I was in the Louisiana National Guard, and Katrina happened 2 weeks after I got commissioned. I served combat experience in Afghanistan, where I oversaw the interrogation operations in Afghanistan, and shortly upon returning in 2010, the oil spill happened. And most of this time I was in the National Guard. I got my education, and between disaster, catastrophe, I was gone. I never had an opportunity to build a business. I was always sacrificing along with other veterans, going for education, and when other people are running away, we're going towards the fight. And all we're asking for in this is, hey, when we want to come back and move back to our home, I spent about 13 years of my life building other people's homes. Let me come back home and build my home. All we're asking for is a little bit of an incentive to say, hey, you know what? Give us an opportunity to at least make up for that time what we did for other people. And Senator Pell, I did take a little bit of an offense when you said somebody in London. The current fight is worldwide. Everybody supports the victory, no matter where you're at. When you swear an oath, it's not red, it's not blue, we're all green. Where we want to go, it's, hey, wherever we can support the best. I was supported, my mission, by somebody in Tampa, Florida, I spoke to on a daily basis. He's still part of that fight. And as we come back home, we want to come back home to Louisiana. This is our home. And we're not big businesses from everybody else coming here. We want to be home. And all we're asking for is somebody like me who started, I guess I'm either the last pre-millennial or the first millennial, whatever you want to say, is my life was changed. And I'll do it all again. I've loved what I've done, but I want to come back home.
What type of business do you have?
I'm graduating from law school this year. After serving, I graduated from Southern University Law Center in May. I plan to open my own firm and also have other small businesses. I've always been entrepreneurial. I've wanted to start things, but every time I tried to start something came up, such as Katrina, Rita, Gustav, those things. And it's not just veterans who are active duty. It's also a lot of guardsmen in this area who are responding constantly. And their businesses, like during one of the best examples is during Rita. I was at Nickel State. I oversaw that shelter during Katrina. And some of my soldiers were small business owners. When Rita hit, they didn't go anywhere. Nobody helped their business. They helped everybody else.
Yeah.
So
I think Senator Mizell has a question for you.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
I have to tell you, I know we don't have a lot of time. My son went in Marine boot camp late July of 2001. We thought he was going in peacetime. And during his last week is when the towers went down. So God bless you. God bless your parents, because I know you put them through a lot of nights without any sleep. But I absolutely believe that we give people a leg up all the time. And you guys have deserved a leg up any way we can give it to you, because my son now is in Texas. Maybe if Louisiana gives him a leg up, he'll come back. So I absolutely agree with you, and I can't say enough to thank you for the sacrifice you've already made, and this is what we're all about. I firmly believe it, but I just wanted to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Senator. First of all, I'd like to thank all of y'all out here for listening to what I have to say. I'd also like to thank Representative Foyle over there. There you are.
You got to say your name again, please.
My name is Mr. Matthew Sandifer. I'm a third-year student at Southern University Law Center.
Okay.
Before I attended Southern University Law Center, I had the honor and the privilege to serve 4 years active duty with the United States Marine Corps. So, Senator Mizell, tell your son I said Semper Fidelis. He'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I just really wanted to stress the importance of it's really hard to put into words, but when you come home, whenever you leave the military, whether you're in the Guard, you're active duty, it's incredibly hard to start over. It's incredibly, you're being told where to go, what to do, and these people are getting out, and there's really no support system for them in place. However, most veterans, like to, they're very gung ho, they're very initiative. That's why nationally, 45% of small businesses are more likely to be owned by veterans than by non-veterans. Veterans actually employ 5.8 million employees nationwide in terms of what you would consider a small business, 50 people and under. So I just really, they iterated my points very well. So thank both of you. I just wanted to stress the importance of just being there. We're not asking for a handout. We're just asking for a hand up and just equal footing on equal playing ground. So thank you for listening to what I have to say.
Can you turn me on? I'm on. So both of you guys are going to be lawyers. I mean, we heard that this doesn't even affect lawyers, correct?
Well, lawyers are a very diverse field. There's
What's that?
You can do more than just practice law with the JD.
I
And
understand.
also, even though as holding, opening my own firm, and according, unless something's changed, the amendment has professional services in there. So if it changes, I'm not aware of it.
You do a very good job. So now, you want to start a business. I mean, you're talking about $6 million a year businesses that we're talking about. That's not what you guys are talking about. That's a different animal. You understand that? You don't have 50 employees. So it might take you, how many years would it take you to get $6 million a year in business to generate?
It would depend on the operation.
I mean, to be honest with you, I have no idea, but I'm ready to find out.
You'll be competing with other people who are doing $6 million a year in business. So, I mean, do you know how many hundreds of businesses in Louisiana you're asking for an advantage over, a 12% advantage over?
Did those people go anywhere?
Some of them probably did. Many of them probably did. I mean, what about the Cajun Navy guys? Are we going to give them a 12% advantage? They give up their time and effort all the time. It's just a problem when you start setting aside stuff for people, especially when you're talking about $6 million a year businesses. If you wanted to talk about a $500,000 a year business, I'm fine with that. Something you would grow out of.
$6 million. It's actually 1.5 million less than what the Small Business Administration even considers a small business at 7.5 million. And if you start to grow, if you get to 40 to 50 employees, that's nothing for 50 million. That you're just payroll alone. That's a small number. All we're asking for is to expand the dollar amount.
It took me 35 years to get to that size. I'm just telling you. 35 years. So, huh? That's the maximum. That's huge. $6 million is a big business.
Senator Dan, to answer your question about the Cajun Navy, I think that we should do everything that we can to help those guys out. I think if you're willing to go out there and put your life on the line, and I think there should be something there to help those guys out. So absolutely.
All right. Okay. Senator Cortez.
Thank you, and Mr. Acting Chair. But I want to ask Representative Foyle, because maybe I misunderstood the concept. The concept that I understand is that it's under 50 employees and under 5 million or 10 million. So you don't have to have a business with $6 million in revenues. In fact, you would be disqualified in the. Is that correct? Am I understanding?
Yeah, those are the those are the maximums. You can have up to, because these are a small business. This is a small business initiative, and it's already at 5 million, and so you can have up to gross sales or revenue. I'm sorry, at 5 million. You have to have less than 50 employees. These are the caps.
So what I'm hearing, these gentlemen at the table, and correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm hearing you say is, currently you're in law school. You just finished law school?
Me.
Yeah. So you're in law school. So you're not operating a business.
Not right now.
No, but you want to.
Yes, sir.
And we want you to. And so when you start to operate that business, it appears what the bill is doing is increasing the maximum. So it's allowing for bigger businesses to beat you out as you're a startup. Whereas if you had the cap, the top, lower, you would be much more competitive. And I think that's what Senator Appel was alluding to. You're going to be going up against a $6 million business. I can assure you their efficiencies, and they're going to beat you on a regular basis. I have multiple businesses that operate. I'm a second generation family business, and it's been around for 40-something years. And it took a long time to get to where the efficiencies, where debt was paid down and things like that. So I don't have a problem with the Hudson Initiative. I want you guys to be here. I want you to be competitive, though. I want you to have an opportunity. I think you're in favor of a bill that might be taking you and putting you in an uncompetitive position, because you would be startups and you'd be competing against guys that are bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger each year because of this CPI. And I know that I think Ms. Mitchell suggested that got taken out.
Take that out with the amendments.
But it appears to be a growing program in the sense that it's growing in how much volume you can do and still compete against guys like you. So that's my comments on it. I just wanted to be clear that I understood the bill, Representative Foyle, as it was intended, and not that you're required to have $6 million in revenues. In fact, if you get up to $6 million, you're disqualified.
That's
but
correct.
You can have $5 million in revenue, and you're competing against a guy who's starting out with
And that's on
he and his assistant.
and that's on the existing program right now.
Yeah, I thought it was $3 million when it was originally started.
Under current law, it's $5 million.
It's 5, and we're just trying to kick up the caps.
For just the veterans, because right now they're exactly the same. If you look at the veteran small business and the Hudson small business, so if you're a veteran, you get a 1 million bump in the cap. But right now, if this bill doesn't pass, there's still a $5
You still got a $5 million.
$5
Yeah,
million.
so you're no worse for the
I'm
wear.
not trying to create a new program. I'm
if
just
it passes.
It's just giving us a little more extra for growth in that aspect.
Yeah, but as a start out, you would be competing against some people who have already been in the program and are growing. So, okay, thank you for that clarification, Representative Foyle. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I want you lawyers to tell me when you start up and get close to that $6 million. I may come to work for you.
We'll definitely call you.
I appreciate
Good.
that. Board is clear. Would you
Oh, he gets close.
would you like to close?
I think we've had a long, lengthy discussion. I'm simply